Hey students, Mr. Belisario here. I am going to show you how to develop your claim using this claim worksheet. So I'm going to walk you through this step by step. So first of all, I have the claim worksheet opened up and reading the directions here. You're going to complete the steps below to create your your claim or thesis statement. This will be done on Google Classroom, and notice the date that it's due. I'll start looking those over on April 1st. All right, first of all, I want to point out the gray box. This is an example for coming up with your claim for a claim using a Lord of the Flies example. So taking a look first at what I'm highlighting here. A claim or thesis statement should include your argument stance, whether or not you agree that The Great Gatsby should be read in school, and then the topics that you will argue in your body paragraphs. And for this essay, you'll need 3 topics in your claim or thesis statement. You're going to find those 3 topics using the research article handout or document. So let's walk through this. So the first step is to write your stance. So here is the example for Lord of the Flies. High school students should read William Golding's The Lord of the Flies. That's the stance. All right, and in step 1 down here, I'm going to choose my stance. I'm going to take the first one. The students should be required to read The Great Gatsby in high school. So I'm going to highlight that. Do it in blue. All right. So that's the first step. The second step is to list your 3 topics that support that stance. So for the Lord of the Flies example, topic 1 is the novel explores abstract ideas through symbolism. Topic 2, the novel uses characters that represent society's values. And topic 3, the novel offers themes about human nature. So in the steps here, you would list those 3 topics here. Now, I'm going to click over to the literary criticism article document. All right, so here is the research essay articles. All the articles have been researched for you and read over so that you have all your documents there. You don't need to find any articles, but you do need to read through them. So if you're in favor of reading The Great Gatsby, you're going to use the green box, the articles within the green box. If you are against reading The Great Gatsby in high school, then you're going to use the articles in the red box. All right, since I am for reading The Great Gatsby, I'm going to choose the articles within the green box. So underneath each of the article titles, you'll have some possible topics that you can choose from. So for the first article, Why Gatsby Matters by Bob Batchelor, and of course we always use only the last name of the person when we're referring to them in the articles. Some possible topics are Fitzgerald teaches virtues through the novel's characters, the novel's themes provide meaning for the reader, and Fitzgerald uses an effective writing style. So those are 3 topics that Bob Batchelor touches on in his article, Why Gatsby Matters. All the other articles have at least 1 topic listed underneath them. All right, so I am going to look at the ones that I think are that most resonate with me, and maybe I'm thinking about ways that I can show this within the book. Where can I find an example of each of these? So that's what I'm keeping in mind when I'm choosing my topics. So I like the fact that Fitzgerald uses compelling language. I think that's really important. All the symbols and metaphors. So I'm going to copy that one, and I'm going to go to my claim document, and I'm going to paste it on this line. Okay, then I'm going to go back and I'm going to look for another one. I kind of liked that readers can relate to the characters. I think there's a lot I can talk about with characters. So I'm going to copy that one and I'm going to place that one here. Okay, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to find one more. And effective writing style was kind of related to that compelling language, so I'm not going to do that one. This one's about characters, which I've already covered. But the novel's themes provide meaning for the reader. I think the themes are really important in that novel, so I'm going to also talk about that as my last. I also thought about what order. I think the language and the characters and then the themes are kind of a good order to put my topics in, because talk about the language first, then the characters, and then finally the themes. I think it goes into in from in order of importance, with themes being the most important one, and I like ending with that. Okay, so I've got my three topics, and since they all came from three different articles, I am going to have to look through those three articles for the evidence that those authors use to um, talk about these topics. You know, something that they say about language or characters and theme. All right, so now I'm going to combine it, and I'm going to use this last part here as a model for how I'm going to create this claim. So it says high school students should read William Golding's Lord of the Flies. That's the stance. Okay, so I'm going to say pretty much the same thing. Let me make this bigger. High school students should read F. Scott Fitzgerald's italicized The Great Gatsby. Remember, books are always italicized. Okay, so that's the stance. Now looking at the model, because the novel explores, because the novel explores, actually, I'm going to back up, and because the novel uses compelling language, you might have to, use the model, but you might have to adjust the wording a little bit just to fit what you're trying to say. All right, so because the novel uses compelling language, comma, readers can relate to the characters, and the novel's themes provide meaning for the reader. All right, so all three of my topics are pretty different, which is good, because then that gives me a lot to say about each of them, or at least I can say something about each of them. If your topics are too closely related, you might have a hard time finding some of the evidence in the novel to help support, and things will just sound like you're repeating themselves. So try to have um, three different topics that are not closely related. And if you're looking for other ways to say your claim, you can look at the bottom, and there's some ineffective versus effective claims using To Kill a Mockingbird and The Catcher in the Rye, two books which you may have read already. So that's it. That's how you create your claim, and hopefully that's simple enough. And if you need any help, please make sure that you reach out to me for any questions. Okay, good luck.